Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking all about my Holy Grail high-end products. I have done a video on my Holy Grail drugstore products, which I will link down below if you haven't already seen it, or up on the screen over here as well. But yeah, without further ado, if you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do, and we'll jump on in and get started. So basically I'm just going to go through like my go-to Holy Grail high-end products. These are basically the products that if I'm going on a night out or to an event or something like that, these are what I'm going to reach for first. Out of all of my products, these are my go-to because I know 100% that my makeup is going to look good for the whole night or the whole day. So I'm going to do this in order of like the way that I would put it on my face. This is kind of like a favorites video, except it's just my Holy Grail video. So yeah, my Holy Grail high-end products. The ones I go to the most. Starting out with primer today. The Kat Von D Lock-It Primer is actually my most used, most favourite primer. This is really, really hydrating and it's really smoothing on the face. Like, it makes your face feel so good when you rub it in. It smells really good as well. And yeah, I just noticed that this is the one I go to over any of them just because it makes my face feel really good before the makeup goes on it. So, but yeah, like this is my favourite. Mostly, like, I don't know if this really like keeps your makeup on longer or anything like that. I feel like it does, but I mainly go to this because it makes my skin feel so good before I put the makeup on. I feel like I've got a really good hydrated base to make my makeup look really good. So I really love this for that reason. Then I've got the Benefit POREfessional. This is like my go-to pore filling primer. This is just best for like the filling in the enlarged pores and just any of the like fine lines that you have as well around your face. This does a really, really, really good job at doing that, and it smooths everything out and it feels really nice. I do have obviously a drugstore option of that as well, which is the NYX Pore Filler. This is pretty much the same kind of thing except half the price. But yeah, I really love this one. On to foundation. So I would say this particular one is my like number one foundation. This is expensive. It's expensive, but it's my favourite, and it's the Marc Jacobs Remarkable Foundation. This is just, ever since I've discovered this, if I'm going out to an event or something like that and I'm like tanned, because obviously I've only got the dark one, for some reason the light one, the one that I need for my fair skin, is always out of stock. When I've got a tan on, this is my go-to foundation. I love this. This is the best full coverage foundation that I've ever tried. It covers everything and it lasts all day, all night. If you're sweating, it doesn't matter. This lasts, and this just looks as good as it did when you first put it on at the end of the night, and I love that. I love this for that reason. I love you. I could marry this. See you later, James. I'm marrying the foundation now. Next up, I've also got the Fenty Beauty Foundation. I know some people think that this is the shittest foundation ever, but for me, this is a really, really high coverage foundation. I actually am wearing this foundation today, and I've been wearing this foundation for like 10 hours, and I still think that it looks the same way it did. It looks almost the same as it did when I put it on. Like, there's a little bit of like coming off around my mouth, but that's literally because I've been sitting here like itching my nose all day. But yeah, this foundation lasts really good. This foundation lasts a really long time. It's really full coverage and it's super matte. If you're a really like oily person, you're gonna love this. I love this because it helps keep my sort of oils in the center of my face, in my T-zone, at bay. Kind of helps them there a little bit longer. But yeah, this lasts so well and it's so full coverage. I have two shades of this one. This is the light one that I use. I will mostly use this if I haven't got my tan on over my Marc Jacobs, because obviously the Marc Jacobs is too dark if I don't have a tan on. So this is my go-to if I'm not tanned, because I have a lighter colour. If I had the lighter colour in the Marc Jacobs, then maybe I'd go for that over the Fenty Beauty, but at the same time, I do really love the Fenty Beauty as well. It's so good. I love it. Moving on to concealer. I have two. You might be surprised. My ultimate go-to concealer out of all of my concealers is my Tarte Shape Tape. But that's no surprise. I use this like every single video, and I really need to try out other concealers because it's getting ridiculous. But this is just perfect. The applicator is just massive though. Look at that, it's massive. And I'm so excited that Tarte came out with a Shape Tape foundation. Hell yeah, I'm gonna try that. Who's not? Anyway, this is so good. This is such good coverage. It's a bit of like a thicker formula, but this is so full coverage. I don't see much creasing with this at all, which I really do like. The only thing I have to say about those concealers is that you have to go a shade lighter because they do darken as they dry. So make sure you get a lighter one. Don't go for what you think you need, go a bit lighter because otherwise it won't be brightening at all. And if you're going for it to match your skin, go lighter still because it will go darker. Just so you know. And the other one is like my first ever concealer that I tried from the like higher end region, and that was the Nars Creamy Radiant Creamy Concealer. Yeah, this was literally the first concealer that I tried other than my like drugstore concealers, just because everybody raved about it, and I was like, I need to try that even though it's $40, and like I don't know if I can afford $40 for a concealer. I tried it anyway, and this was literally my go-to before I found my Shape Tape. If I ran out of Shape Tape, this is definitely going to be my go-to. Like if Shape Tape wasn't made anymore and I ran out, this would be my like holy grail for one. Like this is my number 2, just number 2 though. Like this still is such a good concealer. They are both like the same price region. Like this one is $40, the Tarte Shape Tape is $37, but you can only get the Shape Tape on Tarte's website if you're from Australia. And yeah, you have to pay for shipping too, so it's probably easier to go get this if you don't really have anything else on Tarte that you'd want to buy. They're both really good concealers though. Moving on to powder. I've started trying out some other powders because I've literally only tried this powder as my like a high-end powder because this is the first one I tried that everyone was raving about and I love it. This is amazing. This is the Laura Mercier powder. I have recently been trying some other powders. I did try one today, which I think maybe if it keeps going the way it's going, it might be better than this one. But for now, this is my go-to. This has been my go-to ever since I picked this up and tried it on my face. This is really, really nice. This is best though if you have oily skin. If you have dry skin, this might make your skin like look really powdery. But if you've got oily skin, this is gonna like soak right in. Like your skin is gonna love this, and it's gonna keep you matte all day. But yeah, like I said, if you've got dry skin, it's maybe not the best one because it's gonna give you that like powdery surface that you're gonna have to get off with some setting spray or something. But if you've got oily skin, this is your best friend. It might be expensive, like this is 62 Australian dollars, whereas the Airspun powder is $17 and it does similar to this one. So if you're looking for a drugstore one, I recommend the Coty Airspun powder, which you can get on Crush Cosmetics for $17. But if you're okay with spending like $62 on a face powder like I did, go check out the Laura Mercier. If you've got oily skin, it's going to be your best friend. Okay, I'm going to move on to like a contour palette. I didn't have one of these in my drugstore Holy Grails because I've never tried one. I do have a NYX one, but I've never actually tried it. Is that a bad thing? I have it in my collection, but I've never tried it. This just means that I need to try it. But my high-end Holy Grail like face like contour palette is literally the Kat Von D Shade Light. This is the best. Like, it is the best. Like, it's got the best like highlighting shades and the best bronzers as well. I do like that it's got like 3 different kinds as well, so it does kind of cater for the more darker skins as well. I mean, that's not quite as dark as it should be for like, you know, a contour for darker skin, but I mean, at least it's getting there, you know what I mean? Some contour palettes these days just don't have a dark contour at all. At least they tried with this. But I do really like that it's universal in some way. Not quite as universal as it should be, but it's getting there. And these powders blend out really nicely. and they don't really look like powder on your face. Like they kind of just like settle in nicely into your face, and yeah, it just looks really, really nice. I really love that. That's definitely my go-to, even over my Anastasia Beverly Hills one. That's my go-to. Moving on to bronzer, I have two bronzers actually. I picked two basically because my higher end bronzer, the one that I really go to the most, is really expensive, whereas the other one is a little bit cheaper. So my number one bronzer that I've tried that I really, really love is the Marc Jacobs bronzer. So this was their like Tantastic one out of their coconut collection, which I believe is coming back now and it's going to be permanent. This was a limited edition, but it's going to be permanent now, which is great because I'm probably going to need another one soon. No, probably not soon. I've used this a fair bit and you can't even really see a dent in it, which is really good. This means it's going to last for a while. But yeah, so this is my favorite bronzer. It's just the perfect color for if you are fair, if you have a bit of a tan. It can be built up and it is so nice. It blends out so well. It's just the perfect color and the perfect formula for me. I just really love this. But this is expensive. This is 72 Australian dollars. Very expensive, but I feel like it's going to last me a long time and it's definitely worth the price tag. The other one would be the Benefit Hoola. This is the like first bronzer that I ever tried. This is a little bit warmer than the Marc Jacobs, I think. Let me check. It just comes in this little box. It is a little bit hard to get like a bronzer brush in there if you use a big brush like I do. But this is such a good colour. This is like the perfect colour for anybody really. I do know that they came out with a Hoola Light as well. So if you're really, really super fair, that one probably be the best for you. But if you're just kind of like light to medium, then this one would be perfect for you. They should really come out with a darker one for like the deeper skin tones. I think people with deeper skin would really appreciate a darker one of these because this one, like the actual formula of these are really, really nice. They blend out perfectly and this is literally like this will always have a place in my heart. It's really good. I love it. Moving on to blush, I actually have some like singular blushes. So these are the Becca Mineral blushes. These are my absolute favourite blushes that I own. I have like a ton of these. I have almost the whole collection of the minerals and the, what's the other one called? The like shimmery one? I don't know what that's called, but I have those too. In particular, I do like the shades Flower Child and Wild Honey. These are my two go-to shades as well. So these are my like ultimate, if I need a blush for the day, these are the two that I will go to the most. I really love this formula. I got into the Becca blushes when the Jaclyn Hill face palette came out and my dad got me that for Christmas like 2 years ago. Whoa, 2 years ago, that's a long time. But yeah, so that was probably the first high-end makeup product that I ever got because, you know, I got it for Christmas. I didn't really like to spend my money on high-end makeup myself because I thought, oh, it's high-end, like why is it so expensive? Well, it can't be that great. And then when I got that for Christmas and I tried how good it actually is, I had an obsession for makeup from them. So basically all the makeup that I have is like 2 years of an obsession, and yeah. I really do love these. These blend out really nicely. They're super pigmented though, so be very careful with that. But yeah, I really love them. They're like my holy grail go-to blushes. Okay. I don't know if this is going to be a surprise or not, but my holy grail highlighter is a Fenty Beauty highlighter. So this is the Killawatt Duo in Fire Crystal and, Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. So you've got Lightning Dust and Fire Crystal. Oh, these are just so good. I love that these are really versatile as well. So you get the nice sort of luminous everyday kind of highlight for people that aren't really into that really bright shimmery highlight. But then you've also got the really reflective, really out there, like bam in your face highlight as well, which is really, really nice. I really like that because sometimes you don't want that, sometimes you do. And then it also gives the people that don't really like the full-on highlight or haven't tried it before a chance to try it. I do love the packaging as well. Like, I love this. This is so nice packaging. And the formula of these is so nice as well. These I put on Fire Crystal one day and it literally lasted me like 12 hours and looked exactly the same as I did when I put it on. This lasts so damn well. If I can recommend any high-end highlighter, it's these ones. Even the ones by themselves, like Trophy Wife's really nice. It's just not very suitable for every skin tone, unless you're into having wild colours on your face. But yeah, I would say this one is the perfect like highlight for the fairer skin tones, even for deeper skin tones, but it's just perfect. I love this. I love this. I need to go get myself a backup because I love this. Let's move on to brows now. So I have a few brow products, but these are kind of like the only ones I've ever tried. Actually, no, I have tried a affordable drugstore version of the Anastasia Dipbrow, but that was the Chi Chi pomade and I did not really like that. The colour selection is just not good enough for me, but that might just be because I've got really like warm coloured hair and I don't really like to have like super cool toned brows with like red hair. Because my hair is kind of red. I don't know if you guys can tell that, but it is kind of red. So I prefer the more like warmer toned eyebrow pomades. And Anastasia has such good colours in this. I use the shade Auburn. I do have the caramel one as well, which I need to try, but I just haven't moved on to it yet because like these do dry up a little bit. And I kind of want to finish this before I move on to that one because I just don't want it to dry out, if you know what I mean. I don't want to open it and then dry it out. So yeah, I'm still yet to try that one out. But this has been my go-to for such a long time. You can see I've used so much of this and you need barely any of this to actually do your eyebrows. So you can see like I've used up so much of this. I would suggest when you are using these kind of dip brows though, is that you go from like one side and then across to the other. I kind of did the center a little bit and then realized that the center was kind of dry and I had to kind of like get to the outer sides. So like if you kind of do it like that, it won't dry out as fast. I can definitely see that this is drying out around the edges because there's a nice big crack around the edge. But you can see this is well loved. I love this. I use this every single time I do my eyebrows. It is my favorite. Like I said though, I haven't really tried a drugstore one that I like, so unfortunately this is my only Holy Grail eyebrow pomade. The best though. I do need to try some more. Moving on to brow gels. So the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel is my go-to clear brow gel. I mostly use this for like natural everyday looks or, you know, just to keep my brows in place. You know, that's the whole point of it. This is literally like hairspray. Your brows aren't going anywhere. It does kind of feel like hairsprays in your eyebrows as well, if that makes sense. Like if you touch your eyebrows, they do feel, you know, like hairsprays in there, but that's kind of the point of it. It has to like hold them there. I do really like it. I don't think that that's uncomfortable or anything. But yeah, that's like the only one I've tried. Like I said, I need to try some more eyebrow products. And next up, the Benefit Gimme Brow. So this is the same kind of thing. It keeps your brows in place, but this is actually tinted. Like this has a color to it. So I tend to use this mostly at the end of like a full face makeup. Like if I was doing my makeup like this for like a night out, I would use this as like my last step before my setting spray. Just because when you're putting on powder, because I usually do my eyebrows before I like do my face. When you put on powder, like the powder kind of gets stuck in your eyebrows and they kind of like fade a little bit and look a little bit like eh. So I kind of put this over the top to bring a little bit more colour back into my eyebrows and make them nice and dark and sharp again. It's really good for that. But like I said, I need to try more brow products because that's the only brow product I've tried, but it is my favourite. Well, obviously my favourite because it's the only one I've tried. But I do love it. It works really well. So I didn't have a Holy Grail drugstore mascara, but I do have high-end ones. So first of all, the Benefit Roller Lash. I really love this one for the lower lashes just because the wand on it is really like stiff and like just gets all in between your hairs and just makes them really nice. Like it's really precise. I just like it because it's precise. That's a better word for it. What was I going with that? But yes, this is really precise and perfect for the lower lashes. I really love it. And they have a brown one too if you don't really like black. Second of all is the Tarte Lights Camera Lashes. This is like the limited edition packaging from like last year's Christmas collection, not 2017 but 2016. It is new though, I haven't actually opened this yet, and I'm not going to until I finish my little tester that I've still had for like the last year, but I use it non-stop. It's like my go-to. That and the Better Than Sex are pretty good, but I think that this one is just a bit better than the Better Than Sex. I prefer this one. My favourite my favourite liner that I use like all the time and have ever since I got it because I love it so much, and that is the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner. This is in Trooper, which is the black colour. This is my favourite. Like, I'm gonna probably need to get another one of these soon because I've had this for like a year and a half. No, I've had this for a year, and I've used this non-stop for a year, so every time I'm wearing black eyeliner I'm wearing this one. I don't like any other one. I don't like the drugstore ones, they just don't work as good. This is just my number one, gotta get it, especially when the drugstore ones are like $15 to $20 and this is only $28, so I feel like spend that little bit of extra money and get something that's actually really, really good, that's really black, really matte, and it stays on all day, and it's really easy to apply as well. And even like with glitter and stuff on like that, it doesn't like stop working, if that makes sense. Like, I've noticed that some drugstore ones, like, it'll just be like patchy going through like glitter or eyeshadow or stuff because it doesn't like it. So I find this is the best that I've tried and I love it. Next up, for high-end eyeliners, I do like the Inglot liners. These are a little bit more pricey than the drugstore eyeliners that I mentioned in my drugstore haul, but these work like amazing. These are super soft, they're super pigmented, and they just look really good, and they stay really well as well. They like stay in place all day, just like my drugstore ones, but the drugstore ones are a little bit cheaper than these ones. Now into lip products. I've only got a couple to mention for high end. It seems that I like drugstore lip products a little bit better. But we'll start off with the liquid lipsticks. So I've only got one liquid lipstick that I have two. I have two liquid lipsticks that I really enjoy, and that is the Jeffree Star liquid lipsticks. I really enjoy these. These are super, super good. They're nice and long wearing. They don't get too dry. Like, they're obviously dry, but they don't get too dry. And he has a ton of awesome colours, and he's always coming out with new ones. They are a little bit more on the pricey side though. These are almost $30 Australian. They're a bit pricey, but they're really good. My absolute favourite colour that he's ever made is Nathan. Mostly because this is a very similar colour to my Gerard Cosmetics Nude that I'm absolutely in love with. I just love that colour. This is just a little bit deeper. So like, the nude is really good if I'm fair on a natural day, whereas this is really good if I'm like tanned on a natural day. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really like it though. And second of all, the Dose of Colours liquid lipsticks are a really good formula as well. I just love these. And as you can see, the packaging, it's basically the same packaging. But I really do love these as well. The formula is not too drying. It lasts a very long time. Even when you're eating, it lasts a very long time. They have not so many colours, but these are more of the like wearable colours, whereas Jeffree kind of has the kind of out there colours. So if you're after something a little bit more out there, go for Jeffree, but these are really good as well. I love these. And last of all, for lip products, I have a gloss, and this is the Kylie Cosmetics glosses. I know so many people are probably going to be like, really? A Kylie Cosmetics product? These are definitely expensive. They are expensive, as Kathleen Lights would say. But these are really good. I cannot fault them. They're really good. They're not sticky. They're super pigmented and super glossy. They're just so good. I really love them. I'm sorry guys, I love them. I need more. Kylie, come out with more glosses because I need them. Sorry. And final product for this Holy Grail video is a setting spray, and that is my Urban Decay All Nighter. This has been my go-to for such a long time. As you can see, this is the old packaging, and I'm still going on this, and I've had this for such a long time, and I use this almost every single time. If I'm not using my Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day, I'm using this one, and it lasts me all the time. Like, this is, I feel like this is probably like here still. It feels pretty like maybe half full or third full, and yeah, I love it so much. It just keeps your makeup on like, it lasts all day. It doesn't feel bad on your face either, but you can feel that your makeup is just like, it's stuck for the day, like, you know, but it doesn't feel bad. Does that make sense? I don't know. I just really like it, and it helps keep my makeup on all day, and I love it. I didn't have a Holy Grail like eyeshadow palette for this video, but you know, like, the eyeshadow I'm wearing is really nice. I will have a tutorial on this look as well. I'll link it up in the corner or down below. But yeah, I just love too many eyeshadow palettes to be able to pick a higher end eyeshadow palette. I really do want to try like some really high end eyeshadow palettes, but I don't really want to pay the money. You know, when you can get something good that's like 20 bucks, I don't really want to go spend like a couple $100 on a palette, you know. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.